Haven't done one of these in a while. Welcome to Cringe Classic, the show where I take a crack at older cringy videos that I missed first time around and make the shittest jokes you have ever heard.
Why do you assume only other races like fried chicken?
Oh no, it's mentally handicapped. Don't worry, when I mock you, I'm really mocking those bastards that put you up to this, you poor thing.
I love fried chicken. It should be a white person stereotype because of me.
I'm English, so this was never really a stereotype over here until we imported that racist shit from you cunts. I fucking love me some fried chicken. Eat that shit every day if I could. That's why I'm such a fat cunt. Not American fat though. I'm American skinny. If you found that offensive, calm down audience. You know I love you fat bitches.
Why do we make it so we only have pumpkin in the fall?
Because if you use it at any other time of year, the Pumpkin King will kill us all. Or maybe it's because it's seasonal, you dumb fuck.
I want pumpkin all the time.
Of course you do, you goddamn hipster piece of crap.
Why can't most white people dance?
Too busy working, I guess. Only bumholes like you have time to pursue dance classes.
Seriously, like, is it genetic or something? Do we have, like, stiff hips or, like, 2 left feet?
Actually, scientifically speaking, it's because you have a penis instead of a brain. Look it up.
I can dance.
Well then dance off out of here, douchebag.
Why do you get so annoyed when other people don't speak English?
Because those bloody foreigners need to stop talking their backwards gibber speak and learn a real language. Lazy fucks.
English is hard.
Can't be that hard if you could speak it, Riri.
We have silent Ks.
Do you know what? I think you're completely right. Less silent Ks, more death camps. Finally, we agree on something.
Why do we get so excited to brag on Instagram that we went to this really cool, authentic cultural festival?
Yeah, I know, right? White people need to stay out of shit like that. Take your white ass and worthless white money and go spend it on white things like internet and electricity. My shit handmade jewelry will sustain me. Thank you very much.
Even though we went with all of our white friends.
All of your white friends being the two people who can stand being within punching distance of you for longer than 20 minutes without slapping the ever-loving shit out of you.
Why do white people spray tan until they turn orange?
Are you orangist? I am so hashtag triggered right now, I can't even. Oompa Loompas are still being oppressed by the owners of confectionery factories to this day.
Can't you just be comfortable in your own body?
I think about 4 people could get comfortable in your body, Tubbo. And weren't you half Mexican in the previous video? What makes you think you get to be white?
I'm just saying, it's not tan, it's orange.
Why do white folks always gotta be racist pieces of shit? I, for one, will hold solidarity for our freakishly orange brothers and sisters, who don't really look as good as they think they do.
Why do you think that since you've seen 5 seasons of The Wire, you're a cultural expert?
Can you please point me to a person who said that so I can batter them to death with their own sense of smug self-satisfaction? Because you'd have to be a colossal penis to think that way.
Why do you believe everything you see on TV when it comes to other races?
Why do you believe everything you see on Burz Ferd when it comes to white people? And that's worse, because they clearly go out of their way to hate on a cracker. Cheers.
Why do we get upset when a TV show becomes diverse, even though diverse usually just means 2 to 3 people of color?
It's actually about forced diversity, because it's not actual diversity, it's agenda pushing. If it makes sense for a character to be there, no one fucking cares. But when someone shows up for no other reason than to make the creators of the show look good, you know they don't give a shit about a story or the world they are building. So why the fuck should we? If you want a diverse show, write one in the first place or let it happen naturally in the world. Forcing it is just shit.
Why do you assume movies with white stars are automatically more relatable than movies with people of color?
People don't relate to skin color, they relate to characters. It shouldn't matter what they look like unless you're a fucking massive bigot. I can relate to an aging black woman so long as she's written well. I couldn't give a fuck what she looks like.
People of color have had to relate to white characters for all of cinematic history.
Well, that's fucking nonsense. Black protagonists have existed for decades. Hell, they've existed in plays since at least Shakespeare's time. So maybe stop letting Tumblr teach you history. And secondly, you seem to have contradicted yourself. If black people can relate to white people, what makes you think it can't be done the other way around? Like, I don't relate to any of you shitbags because you're lying morons. But my mate Abster is Indian and I relate to him great because he's a lot more like me than you are.
Cunt.
Love you too, buddy.
Why is Viola Davis the first black woman to win an Emmy for Best Actress?
You'd have to take that up with the people who run that particular organisation. And hint, it's not white people. It's run by individuals, some of whom happen to be white. Some, I'm sure, are other colours to boot. Maybe they just hadn't felt they'd seen someone that was that year's or whatever's best till her.
Why aren't we complaining that the Oscars and other award shows are like all white?
Why aren't you complaining that music awards are heavily black? Oh, that's right, because you're a fucking racist. I personally don't care what the numbers are. I'm going to assume that people are where they are because they deserve it. To be fair, though, I couldn't give a shit about either of these things because they lack a certain...
It's just like white people congratulating other white people on being white.
That is literally the least charitable interpretation possible. You should get a cunty, the award for the cuntiest cunt given to the top cunts in the cuntistry.
Everybody should be represented.
No, only the people who are the best actors or whatever that year should be represented. If you represent everybody in something that is technically about excellence, and I'm not saying that it truly is, but you get what I mean, you're gonna end up with some really fucking shit actors compared to others, because so few of a demographic exist in your country. And on the flip side, you'll be leaving out excellent actors because who's got time and space for a 100-hour award show? It's pointless. It's a waste of time. And the fact that black people can win at all means they are represented. Case closed. Fuck off.
Why don't we know the difference between appropriation and appreciation?
Are you asking yourselves that? Because you really should. Most appropriation, as you dick whistles call it, is appreciation. Nobody enjoys a foreign style thing because they hate the country.
Why can't we figure out how to make our own pop culture, our own slang, our own cool clothes, instead of stealing other people's cool clothes and then saying that they are our cool clothes?
We do that. You fucking cretin. You think black people as a monolith invented stereotypically black style clothes, like hoodies and baggy pants? No. Don't be fucking idiotic. You just don't think things come from your culture because you are so immersed in it, you are blind to it. And then you say stupid shit like this. While somehow being dressed stereotypically white, but that's not part of white quote-unquote culture, but it is what a lot of white people do, even though culture is what people do. But whites don't have any cultures. They must not do anything except oppress minorities all the time somehow, even though in Western cultures they are literally free to do whatever they want. Hashtag world's worst oppression.
Why are white people obsessed with Wes Anderson?
Who the fuck is Wes Anderson?
Why would you ever say thug life? It's a bad life.
That's the joke, dumbass.
What do you have against seasoning and spiciness? Didn't Christopher Columbus discover America looking for spices?
Well, I don't know about you, but I live in a nation fucking obsessed with curries, and I'm partial to numerous spicy dishes myself. I'm in a majority white nation. It's like we are different. Maybe white people aren't all the same. Hum-de-hum-de-hum. Also, isn't Italian food, I mean proper Italian food, notoriously spicy? Are they not considered white by you fucks?
Why are casseroles our thing?
Wait, if you think that white people don't have culture and steal everything else, how can casseroles be their thing? Do you maybe think you are talking total shit?
Why do you try to avoid confrontation at all costs?
What? Why wouldn't you? Confrontation is generally unpleasant and unnecessary. Why would you ever think trying to get along with everyone in general is a bad thing to do, you fucking Fruit Loop?
Why is it crazy that I'm white and I have a big butt?
It's not crazy. You are clearly a tubby little fucker. It would be weird if you didn't have a fat ass.
Why do you make such a big deal when somebody doesn't want to hike?
Motherfucker, I never want to hike and clearly you don't either. Stop saying stupid things. You are giving me brain ache.
Why do you keep talking about reverse racism? That is not a thing.
Only you lot talk about reverse racism. The rest of us are just talking about racism. You just don't know what that word means while you sit there heavily partaking in it.
We are the people in power.
Racism is about oppression. Sorry, white people have not been oppressed.
Holy shit, do you even know where the term slave comes from? It's based on the goddamn Slavs, a group that were in a large part of Europe, who, in big numbers, would turn to slavery. You fucking morons know nothing about history, do you? What about European Jews, largely white, and in World War II, Was that just a fucking wonderful time for them? You goddamned idiots. How can you even believe your own bullshit?
Why are you too afraid to speak up when someone says something racist?
Depends on what you think of as racist. I've had discussions with my friends when they've held slightly racist beliefs, but I'm sure not like you cunts would do it. I certainly don't try to shame people into thinking like me.
Why do we think that having one friend of color means that nothing we say or do could possibly ever be racist?
Because racist people don't tend to associate with races they hate.
Why does being half white automatically make my commentary on white culture only half true?
Well, your commentary is about 0% true, so I don't know where you got those numbers from. But isn't it you fucks who think white people shouldn't talk about or criticize aspects of other cultures because they are white? I don't think you know who you were actually talking to. If a black person criticizes a white culture and has astute observations, those observations aren't changed by the color of his skin. So I'm going to accept them, regardless, because I'm not a fucking racist like you pricks.
I am just as much white as I am Mexican.
So, half.
Why do you believe that Black Lives Matter means that your life doesn't matter?
From the behavior of a number of its proponents.
Every life matters, it's just that one has a harder time living.
Prove it. I think you'll find the factor that actually affects people's ability to live, thrive and survive is money. And that's just too inconvenient for your narrative.
Why do you get offended when you see a table full of black people, but not when you see a lunchroom full of white people?
Who the fuck gets offended by tables full of black people? And if you grew up in a white majority country, you would be more accustomed to seeing large group of crackers, so probably just wouldn't notice.
Why do you always ask to have a white people club?
Well, most of the time people are trying to point out the ridiculous nature of having clubs based on ethnicity. Like, seriously, you think all black people have the same interests and life experience? Because that's racist, bruh.
You already do. It's the student union. It's primarily white. They have a black student union because you don't represent them well.
I thought the student union was supposed to represent all students, and if it's got black people in it, then it's not white, is it?
Why do you see the success of people of color as a threat to you?
Nope.
You know that a 2-minute video about whiteness isn't reverse racism, right?
No, it's probably just racism because whiteness isn't a thing, it's just one of your racist terms to beat people over the head with.
2 minutes about whiteness, hundreds of years of systemic oppression. Yeah, I think we can deal with this.
Systemic oppression that doesn't exist in the West anymore and wasn't done by any of the white people you were talking about. Yeah, I think you can fuck off, mate.
Why are we upset about immigrants when we were the first immigrants? And we were white people running away from other white people. That kind of shows you how bad white people can be.
You want to play this game? Because I'll ask you something. Do you know who got ridiculously wealthy off of selling black slaves in the first place? I think the answer will surprise you. People can be shitty, you dumb fuck. Perhaps, if you stop trying to segregate everyone and actually learn something about reality, you would know that.